This is a Hot Pie Media original. Hi, I'm Deb, and this is my podcast.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything. Why racist white guys keep winning elections? Why stocks and bond yields move in opposite directions? Why Deborah calls eggplants aubergines? What color was that dress from 2015? Deborah, tell me, I don't know anything. You're listening to the Deb O'Keefe Podcast, the podcast where Deb O'Keefe doesn't know anything.
Sometimes you just need a hug, and when there's no one around, it's difficult. So stressed out, you're feeling like, anxiety is high. You know what helps me out? These guys, Early Bird CBD gummies, full spectrum THC CBD gummies from Early Bird. You can order them online at earlybirdcbd.com/Deb. Gets you 20% off your first order. That's everything. So you can order as many as you like. They come in 3 different flavors. And let me tell you this too. These little packages that they come in, they're 4 packs. Totally childproof because they're almost Deb-proof as well. If you know you have trouble getting in there, childproof. All the products are intended for 21 and up, and of course you got to keep out of the reach of children. But if you're thinking about THC and CBD, and you're like me and you don't know anything about it, well, that's the theme of the podcast. Welcome. I don't know anything. These Early Bird CBDs are formulated with a microdose of THC, which is going to make you feel great without getting lit. And that, to me, when they told me that, I said, I'm in, I'm absolutely in. I've had no success with weed over the years. I don't like the way it makes me feel, but I believe in its healing properties. And that's what I get from Early Bird CBD gummies. Order yours online, earlybirdcbd.com/Deb gets you 20% off everything you order. Enjoy. Are you ever online, maybe shopping, maybe just browsing, and you come across something and you think it's so good, you can smell it? That's what's happening to me right now. I'm on shop.festivekitchen.com. You may have heard of Festive Kitchen. Traditionally, an amazing catering company. They have served presidents and prime ministers. You can find their foods at Central Market, and now you can get them delivered to your home. Can I just tell you what's been making me my mouth water here today? The Dallas Rocks cookie dough balls. Are you kidding me? Oatmeal raisin cookie dough balls. That's the one. That I'm going to click on that right now because I've been in a fight with everyone for years that oatmeal raisin cookies aren't the best, but they are. All right. Oatmeal raisin cookies. You can get them sent to your house. They're shipped frozen. So you bake them. All right. You don't have to worry about the cooking. But what's amazing about shop.festivekitchen.com is that when you shop there, you get all of the comfort food hugs that maybe your mom's chicken salad makes you feel. Maybe you want to have a gift sent to a friend who's just had a baby, or maybe you've got people who are down with COVID and they're stuck at home. Go to shop.festivekitchen.com/Deb. That gets you $20 off your first $100 order. Send a hug to a friend with some cookies. Maybe you want to just have some cookies for yourself. Check out the whole menu. There's not just sweets, there's hors d'oeuvres, there's sides, there's their fabulous chicken salad. It's all available at shop.festivekitchen.com/Deb. That gets you $20 off your first $100 order. Yeah, as the song goes, I don't know anything. Oh, you know what I know though? This guy right here. Walked into the studio today. I just had one of those days. I don't know. Nothing really happened. Nothing went bad. I just woke up. I didn't sleep well. I woke up from weird dreams that I was just one of those dreams where you're always doing something. And so you wake up and you're exhausted. And then just the day, just things, life, worries, lots of worries were on my mind. And then somebody did a really kind deed for me. And it made me cry. It was a very simple, one of those things that you don't often think are going to have a huge impact on somebody, but somebody did a kind deed to me and it made me cry out of sort of gratitude and I don't know, just felt very vulnerable in the moment, and the kind deed made me just to have all the feelings. Anyway, so then I got ready to come in here and do my interview, which I'm stoked about. My guest today, oh, she's an amazing woman. I hope you at one point in your life get to meet her and feel the energy that she gave me, because I walked in here to the Hot Pie Media Studios. I walked through the door and nobody was in here, but I looked and I walked right into this and I lost it. I just absolutely started crying again, and I'm on the verge and I don't want to cry. It might be my first cry on the podcast. But a little bit of Photoshop, or I don't know the program they used for this, but it absolutely shifted my heart. And the guys that are responsible for this, Colton and G, and anyone else? Johnny. Johnny. You guys made me cry, you bastards. But look at this. This guy's Alfie, Alfredo, Alfifi, Alpipi, Alpipu, Alpupu. There's loads of names. He's my rehomed rescue French bulldog. And then this side, if you turn, this guy's Blue Boy O'Keefe. He's dead. My soulmate. If you've followed me for the last 15 or 20 years, you'll know that this guy changed my life and is the reason I'm involved in a lot of animal rescue, pit bull advocation, and anti-BSL and all that stuff. So I walked in just full of emotions, and then here's my animal family. And it made me cry, but it made me grateful as well. So I'd like to say thanks to the guys behind the cameras for making this really, really, really sweet gesture. And it looks fucking cool. We're a cool studio, guys. So stick around for my interview today. This lady, wish she could reach out and touch you through the camera, because she's that magical, and the work that she's doing is, I think, unparalleled in Austin. And of course, if you're listening from out of town, you can find her. Her Instagram is Raasin in the Sun with 2 A's. And we'll be right back with the interview. So like I said, was having a bit of a hard day today. Don't know why, it's just one of those days. And then when I walked around the corner of the hallway and today's guest walked in, I just almost started crying again. She's a woman who makes you feel warm just in her presence, but when you see what she does, the real magnitude of the entity who is Raasin McIntosh will hit you right in the feels. Welcome to the Deb O'Keefe podcast.
Thanks, Deb.
Thank you. I mean
really
it.
Happy to be here.
When I walked around the corner and saw you, I that hug was amazing. Thank you.
It was. The energy was amazing. Ever since I met you, I always thought, dang, she's really cool, man. Why is she here in Austin? Like, she should be like somewhere in New York somewhere.
Oh God. I felt the same way about you. You know, Austin's the world is a strange place. You just run into people, and I met you randomly at a crawfish boil.
There you did. Shout out to Casey.
Shout out to Casey, Ferrick, Bastrop, Texas. You have to say the whole name. You know,
Casey
Ferrick, Bastrop, Texas. You got to say
Casey
the whole
Ferrick,
thing. Yes.
Bastrop, Texas.
Yes.
Casey Ferrick. Sorry, Case.
It's a weird last name. He knows that, but he's a wonderful soul.
He is
who has introduced me to some wonderful people. You being one of them at a crawfish boil, and he just said to me, "You got to come to this crawfish boil, Deb." I don't really eat crawfish, but he said, "You got to meet these folks that I've met." And when I met you, Raasin, and your wife, I was just like, "Wow." This energy in a South Austin crawfish boil. I thought the same thing about you. What you belong, I don't know, on the top of the Eiffel Tower or something. Your energy awesome. And your presence. And then when I found out what you did, and I'm so excited to tell predominantly Austinites, but anybody listening can check out your collaboration, your art collaboration, because that's what you do. You bring art projects, not just to Austin, but you're around the country.
Yeah. I would venture to say the trajectory of what we do will be international, nationally. Yes. We've done some national level projects, but mostly centered here in Austin. And I think for my dad being a creative from Houston originally, shout out to Booker T. McIntosh. That I have it in my spirit to kind of create projects to solve problems.
So if you're familiar with some of the projects that Raisin has been in charge of collaborating artists and working with the city and the Downtown Alliance. The most prominent one that I can think of that you may have seen if you're just sort of traveling in and out of Austin is the Under Lamar mural, Under Lamar Bridge.
The Be Well murals.
And we'll pop it up here so you can have a quick look at it. But I took my dogs for a walk and specifically went over the bridge there and made them look at all of them and took pictures of every single one. And it made me feel warm inside that that weird underpass there is strange.
Chills.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
And then I crossed the road and looked around the other side too. And I think that's the best way for you to view that particular mural. And I saw that before I even knew you. And when I found out that you were in charge of getting those artists together and spreading that message, I thought, well, I need to know more. So let's start with that one if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Was that the first one that you did in Austin or was it?
No? I think that was actually probably the 10th or 11th. We've been doing mural projects for a little over 7 years.
All right, Austin, this is time to step it up because you don't just have to stand in front of I love you so much. I love tacos so much. Hi, how are you? ATX, outside Whole Foods are so played.
Yeah.
If you want to
see it.
Yeah, if you want to have an Instagram moment, but then also turn your brain and your heart on and learn something, find some of Raisin's mural projects around town. The East 7th one as well is a big deal.
East 7th is a big deal. We've got one on Ian Franklin Avenue. We've got one on East 12th Street and East 11th. We've got pretty much all over the city. We can go and kind of talk a little bit about Be Well, which is very, very powerful. I think we pride ourselves, and when I say we, Raisin and the Sun as an organization and as an entity, is 501c3, really doing the work, right, in the city and the community to bring folks together. And so I think really putting that to the forefront of all of our projects, you end up producing things like Be Well. Because Be Well is really a mental health awareness and just kind of pick you up out of your slump type of project. Because at the time, today. Absolutely. And at the time that we produced it and created it, we were in a really bad or just a challenging, I would say, situation nationwide, worldwide, and definitely citywide with the pandemic. And so we wanted to do something that kind of gave a platform to the creatives, engaged the city, and also uplifted every single one that saw it on the content or a YouTube video, saw it on Instagram, drove by before work, walked, biked, scoot.
Be careful down there on
Be
scooters.
careful down there. You can also see it from where
I
Deb,
stood.
which is over the top of the underpass. You're right.
Yeah,
the overpass.
I would say that's the safest way.
The safest way. But you can also go underneath, which is like,
but yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
It is actually to be able to see such a big scale, and that's not the biggest one you've done, but to see a big scale art project and be able to then come up next to it. I hope you don't mind, but I'm one of these weirdos. When I see an art installation, I have to touch it.
Of course.
And maybe it's because I used to study art and create, and I sculpted and stuff.
And there's an energy coming from it.
Yes, I feel like I've got to see. I want to know the process, and so being that close to it was amazing. And I was actually really lucky enough to be aware of the opening of your resilience project on Ian Franklin, which was about a half a mile away from
a smaller
house.
project, but still very impactful.
Oh, it's amazing. But I lived right around the corner from there for 11 years. And so to see a different side of that community was really important. And I think maybe if you're new to Austin, and we have a lot of new Austinites, you might not realize that the city had been set up to keep everybody apart.
Absolutely.
To keep Black folk out, let's say Black and Hispanic folk out of the main part of the city. And there's still such a divide. And that's another reason I wanted to get you onto the show is because when I see that, and I lived over there, it breaks my heart that we're still struggling to
heal from that.
Yeah. And
Move
have
forward.
West Austinites realize that we would be nothing without East Austin.
Absolutely. I think that's a very powerful way to kind of look at it. And I'm really blessed that you recognize it and are talking about it on a podcast. I think the situation historically that we've been kind of like we've inherited as citizens here in Austin, even if you're old or new, just moving here or not, we are a product of that history. And so I think looking at it, in the 1928 plan is the most famous, I think, in terms of history. In the city of Austin kind of forced Hispanic and African Americans from the west side of I-35 to the predominant east side of 35. And when I say forced, I mean, they cut electricity off, water, power, anything they could do to kind of force everybody to one. And it's not, don't take my word for it. Literally, you can see it. Yeah. Or you can just go to the east side now and see remnants of schools and churches and structures and neighborhoods and parks and all of the things that were happening over many, many, many decades, and how the social cohesion aspect of what Black and brown folks had to do to come together to thrive, I think is very remarkable. I think even looking at in the 90s when the tank farms and the Holly power plants, which is basically, factories that push out poisonous air.
They wouldn't put a poisonous plant in the middle of Tarrytown.
No. And so it was over there.
More penalizing just for the color of the skin.
Absolutely. And so they had to really deal with that to get those tank farms out to, have better air quality and, better water and infrastructure and really the organizations that were formed before we got to Austin to really fight that is really a lot of my inspiration and the reason why I like to do a lot of these projects that are on the ground.
Yeah. So people can actually at eye level
absolutely
see what happens,
see what happens, talk to folks that parents or people that can connect to whatever happened in the past, and then also have the conversation moving forward as to how we can come together and heal and really, as the changes and rapid changes are coming, how could we bring everybody to the table?
Yeah. The big thing that I think about when I think about your projects, and I hope that a lot of people go and maybe do, there's the studio tour that everybody does every year on their bicycle, have a raisin tour. Just go around on your bikes or scooters or whatever it is and awesome. And take it in or drive, make that your Sunday. What are you going to do this week? You're not going, maybe you don't want to be indoors. The weather's changing. Right. Go and have a great tour.
And look at all of the powerful public art.
Yeah. And look at it and read. Stop and read. When you see a plaque that describes what this is about. And I don't want to be too activist about it because it's not, I don't want to say it's not my fight, it's not my struggle, because I feel like I'm an ally and I want to be involved. But you're on the east side, you're enjoying living in that cool place. You've now got a Target and a Whole Foods, and you've got Hop Dotty, you've got sushi bars, you've got the east side is very cool now. I think you need to sit and take a moment. I did when I lived on East 12th.
That's why you're like you are, though. That's why you're so dope.
Thank you. I just think stop and take a moment and think about what was there, what's there now. You're enjoying it, and think about the price of that, and think about including more people in your vision of your life. You'll only be richer for it.
You'll be richer for it. You'll be more selfless, and it's an act of giving that is just, it's one of the greatest gifts you can give back is to give a voice to somebody else, hear somebody else, have a conversation, give back in ways, attend an organizational event, support a local nonprofit or art organization, support creatives. I think that is what I really preach about. Or I don't want to preach. This is not a religious thing. I really promote. I really talk about really bringing the culture back and keeping the culture in it and helping to grow it, right? And to make it more powerful so that, what really makes people want to come to Austin, it stays.
Scrolling through Instagram the other day, as I do, I came across my new sponsor, Refine Aesthetics ATX. Definite immediate follow from me. I would recommend you do the same. Before and after pictures to prove just how amazing the results are. Yeah, I'm in. I'm looking at this particular picture of a Peel Purify with Precision Plus. It's all peas. It's a really comprehensive peel for acne and acne scarring. And man, I wish I'd had Refine Aesthetics 15 years ago. Totally pockmarked cheeks. And I've had to have, over the years, lots of different procedures. And you can get procedures for this at any stage in life at Refine Aesthetics. Like I said about that peel, they also do BBL. That's broadband light therapy, reverses the signs of aging, again, can even out your skin tone. So if you're like me and you've got some old acne scars, the BBL could really help from Refine Aesthetics. Again, follow them on Instagram for amazing information, before and after transformations. and book yourself an appointment. Mention the Deb O'Keefe podcast. You'll get 15% off refineaesthetics.com. That's refineaesthetics.com. Getting involved, I've always loved being involved in the community, whether it's Meals on Wheels or animal projects.
Yes.
Obviously, lots of animal projects. As you can see, I might be mildly obsessed with animals, my rescues. But when let me put it this way: the theme of today's show is this is a wonderful woman who came into my life, and I've learned so much. And I want to share the art projects with you, but I mentioned earlier, I've had a shitty day today, and to see you lit up my life and made me, it just reminded me of the last time I saw you, which was at the opening of the Resilience Project. And I got to meet and see some of the people that these like legendary East Siders that are legendary on the East Side of Austin, which means Austin. And I never knew about it. And that day, I just thought, I feel a little bit more at home. Sometimes you don't feel like you belong. Am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right track? Get involved in the community in which you live and be a part of it. Like literally, you'll be a part of it. You're not just feeling on the outside. And imagine how a lot of the disenfranchised people from the East Side feel about that.
Yes, Deb, I literally love the fact that you said be a part. I think a lot of times new or recent folks moving here, they're looking for a way to be a part. I just feel like there's this wave of separateness and not speaking to the neighbors, and you're just moving in there, but you're just walking your dog and
that's
to the end of the street and you're coming back.
And COVID hasn't helped with that.
And COVID hasn't helped with that.
And the isolation that you can feel sometimes if you have moved to a new place. You don't, or let's say you're an older person as well. Right. You don't have that younger sense of going out to bars or dating or meeting people. So this is a lovely way to meet like-minded people and learn about the community.
Absolutely. I think on both sides, I think the folks that are very community-oriented and then the folks moving in or the new folks or just folks that haven't been exposed to the community engagement on those levels, they really want to end. I think it's just, this is a really solvable solution here.
Yes.
It just needs to be more support and more initiatives like what Raisin and the Sun is doing and opportunities for folks to come out.
Yeah, it is. It's eye-opening. I know that the mayor was there at the event that I just talked about, and it just seemed weird to see the mayor standing there in jeans being a dude talking about some cool stuff. And it made me feel like, I was kind of in Austin coolness today. And that, he's just the mayor, guys. He's not really that cool. But I thought the whole event was just amazing. And the people that spoke and the family members that were there, it really sort of lifted me up. And thank you for that, by the way. Thank you for bringing that to our community. But I want to go back a second. How on earth did that start? How on earth did you feel that there was a need for that here? Or how did these art projects and the collaborations that you've done? Yeah, come on.
You're always asking that. Those chilling questions. That's a great question. I think really understanding from 2012 to 2011, like after I stopped running track, I used to run track and I traveled the world.
Don't just throw that away like that.
Well,
because
look, UT, track star, Olympian, former Olympian, some other stuff. Wait a minute. Hold on here. I know. But here's the thing.
Now I'm getting
coming from Houston and really being in athletics and having to really, create our community and really be a team and understanding what it takes to be successful. Understanding that if you have a goal and you want to solve a problem, or you have to be solution oriented and you have to work at it every day. And I think I kind of, took that on growing up and understanding that was a recipe to that. And as I traveled and understood that really we have a lot of this issues going on in every city across the world. Very, very similar things happening. And so I was just really, inspired to create something that I could initiate, right? And that I could have a little bit of control over, in terms of, because I asked my friends, hey, let's do a foundation. There's so much work to do. And, one of my friends, Olympian friends, was like, I don't have time, And I'm like, you know what? Let me just create something. There's issues in my community right now that I can do something about. And so we started doing cleanups, picking up trash in the neighborhood, just we wanted to see the neighborhood look cleaner, but we also wanted to bring folks together.
And to see that makes you think, oh, if you're living in the street, we used to do that on East 12th too. We would do a whole neighborhood cleanup of Givens, and it felt amazing.
Yeah,
I used that park. Well, and I use that park every day.
Right.
I didn't litter, but that's the way I paid. I hate littering. Don't mess with Texas.
Right.
In England, we had don't be a litter bug.
Oh, they say that?
Yeah.
Well, here's don't mess with Texas.
I know.
Honey.
But it's like ingrained in me. And I embrace that don't mess with Texas. Don't mess with Givens Park. But so that's a wonderful way to start. And then did you see the spaces? Like the walls, the leftover things?
I did. And so, we started with small cleanups and we started looking at houses that were, residents that had been there for years and years and years needing some sprucing up and beautifying. And so we, raised money to do small restoration projects, kind of like an HGTV, Raising in the Sun style on the ground. And so we would do that. So I really originally started Raising in the Sun to really restore homes and just to walk up, hey, we have $5,000 that we raised and we could paint your house and we could power wash and do all this. And just that whole restoration, environmental aspect of it. And then here comes the walls that just started appearing and like, oh, these are canvases that we could use to bring folks together and tell stories of the community. And so we just, the very first mural project we did was a high school mural contest in which we were forced to engage with every high school, every teacher, every art class, and the superintendent to say, hey, this is our organization. We're new. This is what we want to do. And we want to give the kids and the students an opportunity to have this wall for this theme.
How was that? Sorry to interrupt. How was that conversation of walking in? Terrifying, walking into a school and saying, hey, I want to be involved. I'm not a creepy weirdo. Can we talk to the kids?
Well, first of all, it's to understand that the kids were kind of scared too.
I think I would be more terrified being in a classroom full of teenagers or whatever.
Actually, the kids were really scared. I don't think I'm good enough. I think I can draw. I love murals and I see this, but to them, muralists are like so far ahead.
It's a big project.
It is.
As an art student at school, you look at your canvas in front of you and that can be intimidating.
But to scale it.
Yeah.
Right. So what we did was we got 2 professional artists to kind of take them through the process, whoever was selected. So we got a group of people to select the students. We got over 75 citywide applicants. We went through the applicants and chose the top 5, and then they voted, and we ended up choosing a young lady on the north side of town to come and do a mural on 12th and Chicon. So she did a unity mural, and so Jules Salazar was her name, and so she's still doing art and doing murals now. Texas State
took it
absolutely, and this was years ago, and so
that intersection, by the way,
it's pretty powerful.
It's very powerful. If you don't know, I moved to Austin in 2000, and
so
I know, I saw it, and people, it would be the intersection in Austin, 12th and Chicon. You don't go there.
That's the one.
You don't go there, and you would see things going down, but then also you would see the history. My beef don't need no teeth.
Sam's.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Mays, which lives around the corner from me.
I don't eat meat, and I haven't since I was 19, but I almost wanted to go in there and see if you needed teeth.
Hey, have you been? I encourage anybody to go to Sam's Barbecue, go inside, not only just to support and buy the food, but just to be engulfed in all that art that's in there. He's got pictures from, if you really want to know about the history and feel the community, go in there. It's just amazing. I mean, like, he's got pictures that cover every inch of the walls.
He's still there. That's an amazing thing, because 12th and Chicon is not the where you get crack anymore. No. It's a very cool intersection. And so that was the start of your mural project with Jewel. She's still doing it.
She's still doing it. And from there, we just kind of like, everybody was like, oh my God, I love this. I mean, we love the fact that we could do unveilings and programming around the mural projects. And so we just started doing more and more and more, and ended up going from, trying to scrape a $2,000 budget to all the way to $100,000 budget projects.
Being sponsored by different cities. Everybody.
Sponsored by everyone. Right now we're doing Walls Unite, which is the developer donated for a year 2 warehouses to us to kind of curate and with the theme of, unity in the community and social cohesion, and really looking at all artists of all backgrounds to come in really visually do something to those walls on the outside. So be listening up for that project coming up very soon, and the East Austin studio tours and everything. But we're really excited about it. I think I shared a couple of pictures from that warehouse project.
They might be right.
Walls Unite.
Yeah, we'll definitely link everything.
Yeah, and we have some video content too. We're just excited. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be having some really major players, muralists that will be installing. So I'm really, really, truly excited, amongst other really big projects coming up. So.
Well, we'll make sure that we mention those as well when they come out.
Absolutely.
Apart from, in your mind, as a community activist, I would like to call you a community leader.
You can.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay. So
I don't mind.
What else can people do? Going and seeing the murals and being part of especially the openings, they really are fun, and they oftentimes have food and drinks. Now, who doesn't want free food and drinks? I do, always, all the time. Yes. Even though it rained the other day when I was at yours, it was great.
People still coming out.
It was great. What else can people do, not only to sort of get involved in community art projects, but maybe help your foundation?
Absolutely.
You take donations? You take
Absolutely.
sponsorships?
There's raisininthe.sun.org/donate. There is info.
That's 2 A's.
There's 2 A's. Info raisininthe.sun.org. Reach out via web or Instagram to us, because we do have additional programmings. We do have on the ground communities projects that we're doing that are not necessarily mural projects. We're just trying to bring folks together, and so I think really donating to our organization helps us to build capacity.
Yeah.
And it helps us to further the work that we're trying to do. That is a daunting task sometimes.
I feel like we're just getting further apart, frankly. So you're fighting an uphill battle, but you're doing the work.
Yeah, the work is not going to stop. I mean, I think created Raisin in the Sun, and when I'm gone, it'll still be doing the work, and the work will still need to be done.
Yeah.
So I think
hopefully less so in the future.
Hopefully less so. I think the new folks, our younger generation here, those are the ones I like to really focus on a lot of times, because they're so spongy.
They get it.
And they get it. They're inspired, and I think can really be a true path to our healing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, you're amazing. All right, we're going to post all the details, and follow up with me on my Instagram at Deb O'Keefe, because I'm going to be following up with yours and reposting these community announcements, because I think they're great. So whether you're in Austin or not, check out Raisin in the Sun. That's 2 A's.
Thank you.
Because she's that special. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Deb.
Air hug.
Awesome.
Real one in a minute.
I love her.
You're the best. Okay, bye. Love you. Bye. Oh shit, you're recording. Sorry, I had to get one last hug in with Raisin. That woman. She wasn't married. Whew. Sorry, that was really rude to say that, but she is just a gorgeous person, and I love her, and I'm so glad that you guys got to meet her. So follow Raisin in the Sun. That's 2 A's. RAASININTHESUN on Instagram. It's a big sun emblem. You can't miss it. She's an amazing human being, and her goal is to just bring us all together. The community, our divisions, white and black, white and brown, white and anybody else who isn't white. This is a great way to get involved in our community, specifically in Austin, but anybody who's listening from elsewhere, you can always find Raisin online and get involved that way. If you're a rich person, donate. All right. That's the way to do it. Thanks for listening to the podcast today. Thanks to my sponsors. And as always, thanks to you, because my shitty day is not so shitty because I got to share it with you. So, and the guys, of course, who made this beautiful Alfie image. Bastards, you made me cry. I love you guys. Thanks for being here today. Follow me at Deb O'Keefe. Thanks for listening. You can find more episodes and all of our other Hot Pie Media originals baked fresh daily at our home online at hotpiemedia.com, the Hot Pie Media YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts.